Thank you very much for joining me in this evening, viewers and subscribers. Now, today we woke up with this news that the PRP had dragged our vice presidential candidate, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, to court, accusing Rabi Musa Kwankwaso of purchasing 69 nomination forms while he's a member of the NDC. And this news today created a lot of reactions on social media platforms with the people from Bola Ahmed Tinubu's camp and Atiku's camp jubilating that Rabi Musa Kwankwaso was carefully crafting a game against the people's president, and at the end of the day, Peter Gregory will be disappointed after Rabi Musa Kwankwaso unveils his game and his plans against the NDC. But this evening, the PRP, the official PRP leadership came out to debunk that news. That how would anybody in their right senses come out and say Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, who is the vice presidential candidate of the NDC, purchased 69 forms from the PRP, after the PRP have already concluded their primary elections and have elected candidates to fill all the positions in their political party. So how then will Rabi Musa Kwankwaso have the opportunity to field candidates in the PRP? And if that rumor was perceived to have been true, then who was supposed to be blamed? Is it Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, the person that purchased forms from the PRP that was supposed to be dragged to court, or the leadership of the PRP that sold those forms to him? So anybody that brought out that fake news was wallowing in a very deluded fantasy that would never ever come to fruition as far as politics in Nigeria is concerned. But this is the fake news that created a lot of celebration in Atiku Abubakar's camp and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which tells you that these guys, because of the hits they have against Peter Gregory and the NDC, they have lost their sense of reasoning. Because when I saw that news, I believed that, this news, there is no way this news will carry even that small symptom of truth in it. Because every political party now have concluded their primary elections. So how would then Rabi Musa Kwankwaso be responsible or be even dragged to court for purchasing 69 nomination forms when the PRP have already concluded their primary elections? Yes, bringing up these things against Rabi Musa Kwankwaso because of the way Rabi Musa Kwankwaso is moving in the northern part of the country, marketing the OK tickets and convincing the northern population to believe in the OK ideology. And this evening, the man still went to Kaduna State to have these engagements in building the strong OK structure in the northern part of the country. And as we speak now, he's in Kaduna State with serious engagement with political stakeholders and building up grassroots structures. That is what threatens the Atiku Abubakar's camp and Bola Ahmed Tinubu's camp with the way Rabi Musa Kwankwaso is moving in the northern part of the country. In the last 2 weeks, not even up to 2 weeks, last week only, he went to Jigawa, went to Katsina, and then the Zamfara State. The man is working tirelessly, and that is what is threatening Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar's camp. I'm going to bring you the details to this report shortly. But before then, the chairman of IAGA Africa, Samson Itodo, came out on national television, and as a result of what happened in Ekiti State, he said it's very, very important for INEC to inspect their election materials before even a vote is cast in any election, so that they will be able to identify if there is another material, most especially ballot papers that were brought from other political figures to rig the election. Just watch this video and listen to what he said, and then after this, we'll come back and continue.
I think there are several lessons INEC needs to learn. The first one is that it needs to intensify its due diligence and supervision and monitoring and assessment of its election materials before they are deployed to the field. There were instances in this election where ballot papers, even though a bundle is 100, you find 80 inside of those ballot papers. Those issues need to be addressed. The point about the consistency between, the numbers of parties on sensitive materials needs to be addressed. Yes, INEC would say that it's because They're trying to play safe. They don't want a situation where in the 11th hour, there's a court order that a particular party should be included on the ballot. They'll be faced with a lot of logistical issues. And so it's not just INEC, but the courts also need to understand that when they deliver rulings at the 11th hour, it complicates election administration. It also disrupts the preparations for elections. I think the other sort of lesson, not just for INEC, but for security agencies, is what do we do to address this question about vote buying, especially, when they happen in the face of security agencies and they do nothing to reprimand the defaulters. I think that we need to have a conversation, because this argument that because vote buying does not occur within the precincts of a polling unit, it then means you cannot effect an arrest. I think that we need to deviate, from that particular narrative.
You've watched the video, right? Now, normally, nobody is supposed to have informed INEC that their materials are supposed to have security marks on them. They used to do that. Even when INEC used to put security marks on their materials, criminal politicians will still go ahead to print ballot papers and use them in elections. But the Electoral Act that was passed in 2026 this year, that was the undoing of the 2027 general elections if Nigerians don't pay close attention to the conduct of that election. Because Mike Igini came out on national television and pointed out all these flaws that are contained in that Electoral Act. It was that Electoral Act that permitted INEC that INEC must not put security marks on their materials again. That it is not mandatory and compulsory for INEC materials for elections to carry INEC security marks. That means politicians, most especially the APC, were given the authority and the freedom to go out, print materials, and just come out to make it look as if elections are going on, while they keep people in one room to thumbprint all these materials. It was the Electoral Act that opened that window for that fraud to happen in our elections. Like Igini told Nigerians, but up until today, the opposition political parties, civil society organizations are busy preparing for the 2027 elections without treating all these flaws that are contained in this Electoral Act. So you are talking about INEC supervising and checking if their materials are carrying their security marks so that people don't bring materials outside. The Electoral Act already permitted INEC to do that, to make sure other dubious politicians rig elections and bring their own materials from outside. So that Electoral Act was crafted by corrupt individuals just to provide the opportunity and the platform for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to rig the elections. He said so many things in that video, just the same thing Sam Amadi spoke about in our first video, that the Nigerian security personnel are supposed to arrest those who partake in voting transactions like selling votes and buying votes. Because since they began this mess, there is nobody that has been arrested. Nobody has served any penalty so that other people will also see. It will also serve as deterrence to other people. We have not seen that. So people engage in vote buying and vote selling as if it is legal. These are all the things that are supposed to be trashed before the 2027 elections. What is happening right now in these state elections before the general election in 2027 is just like INEC and the APC are test running the fraud that they have planned. And it is working out for them. That is what will surface in 2027 elections if Nigerians are not careful. The opposition political parties are busy fighting each other and preparing for that election, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the opportunity with his people to sit somewhere, complete the voting, write results, and declare themselves winners. APC, ADC, NDC are busy fighting themselves without paying their attention on Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's get back to my first story. Let me bring you the details of these accusations and how the PRP have come out to counter the accusations against Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso, and how Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso is moving from state to state to continue spreading the OK message and to set up concrete structures for the OK ticket. Just listen to this, and then after this, we'll come back and wrap up this update.
We did not sell forms to Kwankwaso, says PRP. The People's Redemption Party, PRP, has said that it did not sell 69 nomination forms to former Kano State Governor Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso, as alleged by some unknown political actors. The party insisted that all 8 nomination forms had been secured and filled by 8 members, adding that Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso was not a member of the party and was therefore in no position to buy out its nomination form as alleged. Speaking to the media on Monday, PRP State Secretary Musa Megiri said, as it stands, all positions in PRP have been filled, primary elections are over, and every political party has concluded its primaries. He further stated that the person behind the allegation has no link to PRP. The man who raised these allegations is not even a member. It is laughable at this time, when primaries are over, so no one is talking about primaries or nomination forms. Now, this is another round of engagement today by Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso. The NDC vice presidential candidate, Senator Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso, has arrived Sokoto, Sokoto State, for official engagements. And this is his arrival at the Sokoto airport with his team. This man is not playing with the OK ticket. He has continued his engagement. There has been a marathon engagement for him from last week to this week. He's still engaging people, visiting state to state in the northern part of the country.
You've heard it right. You've seen the way they have come out to debunk all these lies. That is the official leadership of the PRP coming out to say no. Nobody would have even contemplated that decision that this news would be true. Somebody went out there, concocted all these stories against Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso. So what might be the intention? What will be the intention of this person? And after they have concocted all these stories, they came out and then started saying that, Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso will disappoint Peter Gregory Obi. This is the person that they call a Kano State, a one-state politician, that he cannot deliver any other state apart from Kano State. But these guys are so afraid that Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso is on the same ticket to Peter Gregory Obi. So they are trying to do everything to make sure they discourage the man from working for Peter Gregory Obi and to bring accusations against him. The other day, it was from APC saying he siphoned money under the watch of Abba Kabir Yusuf without asking Abba Kabir Yusuf who had given these billions of naira to Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso, just in case the rumor was true. The accusations were true. And today, again, they say Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso purchased 69 forms from a political party that have already concluded their primary elections. And the party that maybe allegedly, supposedly sold these forms to him is now dragging him to court. If it is true, who is supposed to be blamed? Is it Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso that bought the forms, or the party that sold the forms to him? And all the political parties have concluded their primary elections, but somebody came out and said Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso purchased forms for 69 candidates. And the another news that followed up was that, Kwankwaso will disappoint Peter Gregory Obi. He will not be on the same ticket with Peter Gregory Obi. He's dribbling Peter Obi and the NDC, and at the end of the day, he will drop Peter Gregory Obi at the middle of the road. And as more as all these stories and narratives are coming against this man, they are energizing him the more. From Katsina to Jigawa, from Jigawa to Zamfara today, he's in Kaduna State. And he's not working alone. His camp, the Kwankwaso camp, is doing a lot for the OK tickets. In Kaduna State, for another serious engagement. So they are afraid. This is the person they called one state man. He can only deliver Kano State. But right now, with the effort he's putting, in his work to deliver the OK ticket in another part of the country. These efforts are sending chips down the spine of Atiku Abubakar and Bola Ahmed Tinubu's camp. They wish they had Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. But the deed is already done. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso is working seriously for Peter Gregory Obi. No obedience or any well-meaning Nigerians should begin to think that Rabi Musa Kwankwaso might disappoint Peter Gregory Obi. The man is completely committed to the OK tickets, and he is investing his efforts and his resources to make sure the OK ticket succeeds in 2027. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Always remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Please turn on the notification bell so that I'll be the first person to be notified whenever I have another update. Write your comment in the comment section so I can know your thoughts and opinions about my videos, and always remember to give me a thumbs up for my videos. Thank you very much. We'll meet very soon.